Okay guys, so today I am just cleaning my makeup brushes. I've already cleaned a few, but I just wanted to go through and show you guys what I use, some recommendations and everything like that for while you're cleaning your brushes. So to get started, I do have one of these silicone makeup brush cleaning basins. This one is awesome because it collapses and it's nice and flat, or you can pop it out, which is how I want to use it today. But I'm just going to take my makeup brush cleanser. I got this from Five Below. I did also get this wash basin from Five Below as well. But I'm just using a pretty generic, cheaper makeup cleanser. And I'm just going to pour this into the bottom of the basin here. And you just fill it up to where that line is, where it pops out. Typically with this, it does recommend that you spray it onto your brush and then swirl it around. I like using it like this because it makes it nice and simple. I don't have to keep changing the product in there or anything like that. So I have already cleaned a lot of my brushes, so I'm just going to kind of go through different types of brushes and how I recommend washing them. So this first one, it's a stippling brush. So it is nice and flat, but it is very fluffy. So what I'm going to do with this one, this silicone basin has little bumps on it. I'm going over onto the left side here where it has the biggest bumps. The reason why I like to use the biggest bumps for these brushes is that it's not too much friction. It's not going to rip out the bristles and everything like that, but it gets it nice and clean. With this stippling brush, I do like to just kind of stipple it. Basically, the motion that I make when I'm applying the makeup, I like to make that motion into the basin as well, just because I feel like it moves the product through the brush the same way. And then I'm just lightly, I know that this looks kind of harsh, but I'm just lightly squeezing it into the shape that it was, so just kind of structuring it, and I'll brush it till it's nice and even, just kind of petting it weirdly. Now since this one is a fluffy brush, I'll just hit it on my finger so that it helps fluff it up a little bit more. It also helps your drying time not be so extensive. And I'm just kind of twisting the brush around as I'm tapping it, and then it'll kind of look like that, which is how I want it, which is perfect. I'm going to go ahead and let that dry. Some people do have products where it'll hang their product or their brushes downwards so that the product, like the makeup remover, water, whatever they use, isn't getting into the brush, but I haven't really found that to be necessary, which, I mean, I've done makeup for so many years now. But I'm just going to go through and clean these brushes. Again, this one, it was a big fluffy brush. I use this brush for highlight, blush, everything in between, just because it's nice and fluffy, and I feel like it disperses that product very nice on my face. You'll see my color of my makeup remover is changing in there, so you know it's getting that product out. And then since this one again is a fluffy brush, I'm just going to go ahead and hit it. This brush is a little bit broken. I'm not getting rid of it though. So I'm going to hold it up here so you can tell it's broken. I may have hit it a little too hard last time I was cleaning it or something. But, okay, now with these thicker brushes, let me see if I have a more dirty one. Not really. With the like dense flat brushes, what I'll do is I'll just kind of push my basin down a little bit so that I can push it down onto the basin, and then I am a little bit more gentle just so that product isn't flying out, isn't getting all over the carpet or anything like that. Now these towels that I'm using are the Erase Your Face makeup removing towels. You just have to get them wet, and then they can clean product off of your face without use of oils, chemicals, or anything like that, which I do really like them because they're nice and soft and they get the job done. I will say there are products that do work a little bit faster, possibly a little bit better, but I do like this route. I do like using these when I'm washing my face, just because it is nice and gentle, and then I don't have to worry about breakouts from random products, testing and trying, or accidentally using expired product or anything like that. So I prefer these, and they do really, really good. Now with these flat ones, I do lay them face down, so that the bristles are on the towel, just so that that product isn't seeping and sitting in where that glue is in that brush. Now let me get some of these smaller ones. So I'll start off with this eyeshadow brush. It's a fluffy eyeshadow brush, so I'm going to pop my little basin back up, and then I'm going to stick onto the side where it has these smaller bumps in there. Now it does have portions. Most products like this, the silicone ones, they'll have like the tiny little bumps, which is what I'm on right now. Sometimes they'll have wavy, which I do have wavy, which is right in this section here. Or they have dashes, just straight lines, which is right here. Or they have the bigger bumps, which is over here for me. I mean, really, you can't go wrong with this. I mean, half the time I'll get lazy and I'll just grab a brush and start swirling around like crazy and everything like that. But with certain brushes, I will stick to one section, just kind of depending. But, so like this one, it's a flat head. I'm going to go in where the dashes are, and just go up and down and side to side, just so I know that it's getting that product out really nice and it's not messing up the shape of my brush or anything like that. And then just lightly squeezing that product out and then setting it aside. The biggest thing that you want to make sure is that when you are squeezing it out, you're not pulling as you're squeezing, and you're also not like squishing it into a shape that the brush doesn't naturally sit in, because otherwise the shape of your brush, once it, like as it's drying, it'll kind of have a weird shape to it, I've found. But if you're pulling on it, you'll end up pulling your bristles out, and then you won't have your brush anymore. But this one's just a sponge one, so I'm just kind of dabbing it in there. I found that smaller, faster dabs with these guys are better. And then you can just kind of squish it and get that product back out. Let's see. Let me do a lip brush. Let me see if I have a lip brush that I've used. Okay, so here's a lip brush. So with these ones, I just stick to the smaller brushes, or the smaller bumps, and swirl it around. Usually when I use a lip brush, it'll be kind of stiff. So I'll just kind of swirl it until I don't really hear that stiff sound anymore. And then once that stiff sound goes away, I do swirl it more into the wavy and lined options. Perfect. This one has a little bit of product on the metal. Sorry, guys. But, so, let me show... Well, that's alright. Okay, and then I do have this highlighting brush, so it's a fan brush. And with these ones, I like to do the bigger bumps again. And then just kind of moving it up and down, kind of like a mermaid tail. Because they do tend to splash the product out. But if I do it over here, and just kind of making sure that I'm not getting too crazy with the motion, it cleans it pretty well. Also with these brushes, I found that they kind of don't pick up a lot of product in the first place, unless you kind of grind it up in there, whatever, and then pick it up. So they don't really need too much. But with these ones, I will just kind of shape it more into a like flat head brush kind of shape, because as these ones fluff out, they do fluff out pretty nice, but I just want to make sure that they are up, because personally with these ones, they're never really too dense in the first place. So like if you're shaping it upwards, it kind of helps your application, I found personally. But, so we're just going to do that again, just squeezing out the product and then shaping it on the sides. And just remember not to push too terribly hard, and you will be set. But guys, with that, I have cleaned just about every type of brush that I own. But if you have any questions, comments, or anything like that, please let me know down below. Keep your eye out for new videos from me. Also, I want to hit 100 subscribers in 90 days, so please subscribe. Please be on the lookout, everything like that. Thank you guys so much for watching.